Pete Davidson was back behind SNL's Weekend Update desk Saturday night, popping in unannounced during an episode hosted by Nikki Glazer with musical guest Sombra. Davidson, who joined Saturday Night Live in 2014 at age 20, was a frequent visitor to Weekend Update during his time on the show, appearing in the news segment 39 times over his 8 seasons. In tonight's appearance, Davidson talked about the Titanic 2, the much-talked-about Staten Island ferry that he and Colin Jost bought at auction for $200 in 2022. The pair's plan to turn the decommissioned ferry into an entertainment venue has long been in limbo, with the vessel racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in docking fees. Davidson joked that the ferry's finances had gotten so bad he'd been forced to perform in Saudi Arabia to help cover the losses, adding that he and Jost had renamed the vessel the Titanic 2 because the Staten Island ferry just sounded too depressing. Jost noted that things have been looking up for their venture, pointing out that Nike had paid them to put the ad on the ferry for the New York City Marathon, leading Davidson to deliver his line of the night. If Lorne Michaels has taught us anything, it's to never give up, even if everyone says your time has come and Tina Fey is ready to take over. Davidson, of course, was joking. In an interview with People magazine published earlier Saturday, he spoke about his debt to Michaels. "I owe that guy my life. He jump-started everything. So I'd do anything for Lorne," and he knows that Davidson has become one of the show's most frequent returning alumni over the last couple of years. He hosted on October 14, 2023, made a cameo on November 2, 2024 when John Mulaney hosted, and reprised his fan-favorite character Chad during the show's 50th anniversary special in February. Pete Davidson made a surprise, unannounced return to Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update desk on Saturday night, popping in during the episode hosted by Nikki Glazer with musical guest Sombra. The familiar face, who joined the SNL cast in 2014 at the age of 20, was a staple of the news segment during his 8 seasons on the show, appearing a remarkable 39 times before his departure. His latest visit saw him tackle a subject near and dear to the hearts and wallets of both him and Weekend Update co-anchor Colin Jost, their infamous Staten Island ferry purchase. Davidson and Jost made headlines back in 2022 when they jointly bought the decommissioned ferry at auction for $100. Their ambitious plan to transform the vessel into a vibrant entertainment venue has, however, faced significant headwinds. The project has been stuck in a state of limbo, with the boat continually racking up hundreds of thousands of dollars in docking fees, a financial strain Davidson vividly described in his segment. The Titanic 2? Financial. Straits in Lorne's legacy during his appearance, Davidson deadpanned about the ferry's dire finances, admitting the situation had grown so bleak he'd been compelled to perform stand-up in Saudi Arabia just to help cover the mounting losses. He revealed a telling detail about the vessel's new moniker. He and Jost had officially renamed the ferry the Titanic 2. The reason for the dramatic rechristening? Davidson quipped that the Staten Island ferry just sounded too depressing given their financial predicament. The name change, while humorous, underscores the scale of the challenge the comedy duo has taken on. Colin Jost, however, stepped in with a bit of good news, injecting a glimmer of optimism into the maritime venture. He pointed out that things were beginning to look up for the Titanic 2, citing a recent, significant revenue stream. Nike had paid them to use the ferry as an enormous, floating ad space for the upcoming New York City Marathon. This financial boost led Davidson to deliver what many are calling the line of the night, a meta-joke that paid homage to the show's legendary creator and executive producer. If Lorne Michaels has taught us anything, it's to never give up, even if everyone says your time has come and Tina Fey is ready to take over. The jab, referencing the well-known anxieties of every SNL performer facing their career expiration date, drew hearty laughs from the studio audience. A debt to Michaels. A frequent returning. Alum despite the playful ribbing. Davidson's true feelings for the show's creator were highlighted in an interview published in People magazine just hours before the broadcast. Speaking about his profound gratitude for Michaels, Davidson made it clear that the joke was all in good fun. "I owe that guy my life," Davidson stated emphatically. "He jump-started everything. So I'd do anything for Lorne, and he knows that." This deep sense of loyalty is reflected in Davidson's growing presence as one of the show's most frequent returning alumni in recent years. His latest Weekend Update drop-in is just one of several high-profile appearances since his full-time departure. October 14, 2023. He returned to host the show. November 2nd, 2024. He made a memorable cameo during the episode hosted by John Mulaney. February of the current year, likely 2025 given the other dates. He reprised his beloved, fan-favorite character Chad during the star-studded 50th anniversary special. Davidson's recurring appearances highlight the strong bond he maintains with the show and its creator, ensuring that while his time as a regular cast member is over, his ties to Studio 8H remain firmly intact. His latest update on the Titanic 2 provides a perfect example of how the comedian can turn his real-life, peculiar challenges into comedic gold, all while paying tribute to the man who gave him his start. The entire segment was a masterclass in self-deprecating humor and a reminder of Davidson's unique, often chaotic brand of comedy that SNL fans continue to embrace. The fate of the Titanic 2 remains uncertain, but for now, it's fueling some top-tier Weekend Update material. Pete Davidson made a surprise return to the familiar confines of the Saturday Night Live's Weekend Update desk Saturday night, injecting a dose of his signature self-deprecating, chaotic energy into the episode hosted by Nikki Glazer with musical guest Sombra. Davidson, a beloved alum who spent 8 seasons at the show after joining in 2014 at age 20, was a frequent visitor to the news segment, appearing a career total of 39 times before his 2022 departure. His latest pop-in centered on the financial and logistical iceberg that is the Titanic 2, the Staten Island ferry he and Update co-anchor. Colin Jost bought at auction for a whimsical $280,100 in January 2022. The pair's wildly ambitious plan to convert the decommissioned vessel, the MV John F. Kennedy, into a sprawling entertainment complex, complete with a concert venue, restaurant, movie theater, and even hotel rooms, has been, predictably, sunk by reality. The saga of the Staten Island natives' passion project has since become a punchline and a constant source of media attention. The albatross of the sea. Financial setbacks and lawsuits. Davidson wasted no time in detailing the severity of the ferry's financial woes, which have left the 4,500-capacity ship accumulating hundreds of thousands of dollars in docking and maintenance fees, while its multi-million-dollar renovation plans languish. Davidson lightened the mood with dark humor, joking that the situation had become so dire he'd been forced to perform in Saudi Arabia to help cover the colossal losses. He revealed the tongue-in-cheek new name, the Titanic 2, a nod to the disastrous and financially ruinous nature of the investment. He explained the change with a classic Davidson shrug, stating the Staten Island ferry just sounded too depressing given the ongoing fiasco. The irony of renaming a boat already struggling to stay afloat after history's most infamous maritime disaster was not lost on the audience. In fact, the limited liability company, LLC, set up by Jost, Davidson, and their business partner Paul Italia is officially named Titanic 2 LLC, a choice that reportedly caused issues when trying to secure insurance for the giant death trap boat. Recent reports indicate the trouble is more than just docking fees. The LLC was recently hit with a lawsuit from the law firm they hired to handle dockage and towing contracts, claiming the comedian's company owed them $13,500 in unpaid legal bills. Jost's wife, actress Scarlett Johansson, has even publicly joked that the project needs a GoFundMe page to stay solvent. A turn of the tide, Nike deal, and Lorne Michaels tribute? However, Jost provided a brief beacon of hope for their floating money pit. He highlighted the new revenue stream that Davidson's appearance was intended to promote, a lucrative advertising partnership with Nike for the New York City Marathon. The massive, newly renamed vessel had been positioned as a floating billboard for the iconic race, a visible sign that the comedy duo is still actively trying to find ways to monetize their impulsive purchase. This unexpected corporate sponsorship offered a lifeline, preventing them from going through with what reports suggested was a planned attempt to offload the vessel. This positive development prompted Davidson's line of the night, a meta-commentary that simultaneously roasted and revered the SNL institution. If Lorne Michaels has taught us anything, it's to never give up even if everyone says your time has come and Tina Fey is ready to take over. The joke referencing Michaels' notorious and long-running commitment to the show, despite the constant pressure of Succession, landed perfectly connecting Davidson's personal struggle with the ferry to the existential humor of show business longevity.